going to start the webinar. So, hi everybody. I'm very delighted to be with all of you this evening. I want to welcome you all to this webinar. And I want to acknowledge you really for showing up at this moment in your life and really investing in you, investing your time in you. I believe that we get the most out of our investment when we are investing in ourselves. I invested so much time and financial resources to my own growth, and we always get the best ROI out of our investments. I'm your host, Sepi Saidi. I've been a life and relationship coach, and I'm also a spiritual psychologist. I train in different modalities. And what I can tell you is that I've been my own best client. Personal growth has been one of my highest value, and it helped me to find who I am and to be able to serve people. So how do you know if you're in the right place? So if you're here, your intuition, your gut led you to be here. And I believe always our intuition leads us to the place where we need to be or where we need to go. And sometimes this busy mind that we have is just like distract us, and all the thoughts and all the things that are happening around us distract us. But I want you to know that your intuition, your inner knowing is always there. And what we want to do is mostly connect to that intuition, because that is the place that you want to be while you are going through your life. And second, if you're here, you want to make a change. You want to make a change in your current relationship. Maybe you want to have a better relationship with your partner. Or you might be single and you are looking for the right one. And next time when the right one will show up, you want it to be more expressive and having more confidence to be authentic in that relationship. Whatever reason you are here and whatever you want to change, I want you to know that it's 100% possible. I've never dreamed the life that I have right now. In my personal relationship, my friendship, my business, and everything that is happening right now. And with helping with other people and with my clients, I know that is possible. So one thing I want to mention is that the only requirement is that you are willing to believe you can change. And that's the only thing that you need to change whatever is happening in your life. So that's the good news, the only thing. So I want to go through the overview about how this hour gonna go. First of all, I wanted to talk about the overview about my story. For some of you that may not know me, and for some of you that may know me, you're gonna listen to it again. And why I'm so passionate about this work, why I really care about this work. And then we're gonna go through a 2-minute meditation for center ourselves. And I'm gonna talk about relationship. What is relationship? What is the purpose of the relationship that we have? And then I'm going through about 4 types of different communication style that we all kind of like fall into during the conflict or when we have stress, and how we can come out of it by 3 keys in our relationships. So 3 keys that we can actually apply in our relationship, that is the most effective tools that I found that it actually can help you to go through your relationship. And the end, I have a special offer for you, and we're gonna go through Q&A so I can answer your question and mostly engage in what's happening within you. Great. So right now, I want you to pay 100% attention, because I want you to get the most out of this webinar. So I have some tips for you to get the most out of this webinar. First, I want you to set an intention. I believe our intention is the direction to where we are going. We can just be like robot and go through our life. But the most important thing is set an intention. So your intention can be having some clarity in your relationship, getting some tools, or whatever it is that you wanted to improve your own communication. I want you to set an intention. Second, I want you to take a pen and piece of paper to actually write down, take a note on what you get out of this webinar. We're gonna go a little bit fast paced because we have a short time together. I wanna give you all the information, all the knowledge that I have about relationship and communication. So I want you to take a note that really actually help you to remember. Even if you don't look at it, it's gonna go inside of you and you can remember it. So third, I want to talk about being present. I believe being present is the most important thing that we can do for ourselves. If you ever experience anxiety, part of it's because we are not present. We are not present with our feeling and we just try to suppress it and just distract it. So I want you to take this 1 hour of your time to be 100% present with yourself. And if you're present, make a difference in your community. Right now, as we are all together, maybe I cannot see you or you cannot see the other people, but our energy is present in this environment. So your energy matters, your participation, your being matters. So I want you to take this moment, this hour, as this community, that you can actually be involved and helping another person, maybe by question or by being present, to bring forward something new into their life. So great, I just set the ground and right now we're going through the communication. So I want to give you a quick story about myself and how I'm here. So I want to give you a few quick stories. So I grew up in Iran, and it was quite interesting for me to watching my parents going through their relationship. As a little kid, I was watching my parents arguing with each other all the time, and I just didn't know what is happening with them, why they're actually arguing all the time with each other. And they claim that they love each other and they care about each other, but they were arguing so much. So I took that as a role model for a relationship. And I said to myself, I will do exactly opposite of what they're doing. And then I'm going to have a successful, amazing relationship. As you might have that maybe in your life, that you just wanted to be opposite of your parents. And then during my own relationships, I realized unconsciously I'm doing the same patterns that all my parents was doing. I was like, how I'm getting to this, to be involved in arguments and problems. I think what I took on as a belief as a child, I thought that relationship, and especially loving relationship, comes with struggle and argument. So to me, kind of it was normal to having problems. I was feeling so much pain inside, but the belief was it's just normal to have that. So in that time, I was in a different relationship, and I just felt like if I change this person, if I change them, then my life gonna be better. So half of my life I spent time changing people. So they were my project. If I would change them, their life would be better. So as you know, it just doesn't happen that way. It just doesn't happen that way. So it was quite interesting. So in that moment, something happened that was very painful in my relationship and really helped me to pause and look at all my relationships. And I felt like I'm not lovable. Nobody listened to me, and I felt really alone. So the pain got me to really look at what was going on. And in that moment, I realized the same denominator in all that relationship was me. And that was a good news because I actually could sit in a driver's seat and drive my life again. And the bad news is that I couldn't really blame other people. So that led me to a self-discovery journey. And I start to really go inside and work on myself and find out what is relationship, what I want, not paying attention what society is telling me, what I want. And I'm sure that you might felt that in your life, that like something that wasn't aligned with you and you felt like this is not what I want, but you were looking at your friends, family, they're doing the same thing, but it's not really aligned with who you are. So I was in that place. So I want you to know that you have my compassion, because I've been there and it wasn't really pleasant for me. And all of that led me to be here, to right now having a relationship with my fiance, which I'm so grateful about. And we have open, honest relationship right now with each other. It's really conscious loving, what I can call it. And it's not that, let me tell you something, it's not that I don't have problems or I don't face difficulty sometimes in my relationship. But the thing is, the way I navigate myself, the way that I am with myself, it's different. And that's what I hope for all of you, to have that in your life, to when you're going through difficulties or in a relationship with your partner, you're able to navigate yourself differently and really, interacting with the other person also different. So that was the story of me. So now I want to invite you to all of us collectively, maybe take a nice deep breath and we just let it out. So for a moment, maybe you close your eyes. Just be present with yourself. Just start to breathe into your heart. Just breathe in and just breathe out any negativity, any concern you may have experienced. So by each breath out, you're just letting go of negativity, of concern. And you just coming back to the present moment. So as you're focusing on your heart, I want you to think about the person that you love the most. It can be your children, it can be your pet, or the person that you love the most. And just observe what's happening inside of your heart. How your heart starts to open. I want you to just breathe into that space. Let yourself really feel this love. I want you to envision that this love, you're sending this love to each of yourself. And you're expanding. You're expanding this love right now. Maybe out of your body to the room that you are right now. And just breathe. Just feel the love surrounded you, guide you, and protect you. And just trusting that we all have that love, whether or not maybe we feel it in our life. We always have that love inside of us. We really set our intention for our time together. Really ask that we remember of who we are, and we remember the loving that we already have inside of ourselves. Okay, so I want you to take a last nice deep breath in and just let it out. And just gently come back to the room and open your eyelids. Okay, great. I just want to know, I want you to write in the chat box, how was that experience for you? For 2 minutes to pause and actually being present with yourself. Okay. No need to chat, write in the chat box. How was it for you to be some moment present with yourself? Okay, great. So now I wanted to talk about relationship. We are all here to talk about relationship. Great. So I want to talk about relationship right now. So first, I want to know where you are in your relationship. So I want to ask this question, that where you are right now in your relationship. So there's a poll that my team member is here and she's gonna pull it up. Okay, so you can answer that where you are in your relationship, the healthy relationship, that you want some improvement, and yeah, so, or you know, it's hard to stay in a relationship, the communication is going nowhere, you're looking for the right one. Okay, great. I just want to know like where you are right now in your relationship to get a sense of what's going on. So, okay. So, want to talk about relationship. So, I believe the purpose of the relationship is about how you are with yourself, how you're relating with yourself while you're going through the relationship, right? It's about getting to know yourself, getting to know yourself of how you feel in the relationship. Oftentimes we step into the relationship with a sense of anticipation that the other person will make us happy or make things better for us or act in a certain way that we like. But that anticipation creates a lot of expectation in relationship. And that expectation creates a dynamic between the relationship that we always depend on the other person for our happiness, for the love that we wanted to feel in the relationship. The problem is that our grandest dream is about beloved partner than a beloved self. So I truly believe, working with all different kind of people, that we are here to evolve. We are here to evolve as a human being. And we are, every day we are evolving and we are becoming. And we are using our relationship to become who we want to be, right? And that's the key in relationship, that every moment you choose who you want to be, who you want to be every second. You want to be happy, you want to be joyful, you want to be angry. That's what you choose. But then you see that you have a choice. And I believe communication plays a big role in our relationship, right? I cannot even imagine any relationship without kind of like going through that communication with other people, right? We always communicate with other people, and communication is the key to the relationship, right? And the miscommunication also can create conflicts in our life, as we see that there are so many miscommunication happens in the relationship. And that's why I want to focus on communication. I wanted to go through different kind of communication that we have in our relationship. But before I go through a different type of communication, I just want to tell you a story of a couple, that this couple, they're married, they've been together for a couple years, And like all couples, they trigger each other. John triggers Leslie and Leslie triggers John. And I don't even know what's their problem is, but they've been having this problem at least 30 times. And maybe sometimes it's about money, sometimes about where they want to go for vacation, who they want to hang out with, or they say something wrong. But then they trigger each other, and when they trigger each other, things are getting escalated and gets fiery and hot. And then Leslie say to John, you know what, I just don't want to talk to you right now. I'm in a space and I just don't want to talk to you right now. And John says to Leslie, perfect, I just don't want to talk to you either. So they live in a small apartment with each other, and they passing by each other, not talking to each other. And on the third day, John remembers that he has to go in this business trip, and he always counts on his wife to go on this business trip to wake him up. And he always sleep through his alarm. So he decided that I'm gonna write a note. I'm gonna write a note to my wife and tell her that I'm going on a business trip, wake me up at 5 a.m. So he wrote the note and he put it on her nightstand. So he goes to bed feeling that I didn't give it in. I just communicate what I wanted to communicate, and perfect, I can just go to bed. So guess what happened? He wakes up and it's 8 a.m. The sun is up. The sun is up, and he's so furious. He just missed his flight, business trip, and he hears his wife singing in the shower. Oh my God, he's about to lose it. And then he looks at his nightstand and he sees a note that it says, it's 5 a.m., wake up. So, as you see in this story, it's a really interesting story, and we just kind of see sometimes we fall into that story. My intention as I'm telling this story to you is that in a relationship, we tend to match the other person communication. So that whatever communication style that they have, we limit ourselves to their communication, and then we go through this cycle of going, and that won't cause a really problem in our relationships. I want to know, what did you get out of this story? Have you felt like sometimes maybe you fall into that kind of matching the other person communication? And how was it for you? Okay. So amazing. So now I want to go through the 4 types of different communication style that we have in our relationship. So I'm going to pull out the, let me see, the slide so I can go through it. Okay, great. So I'm sure that you can see the slide. Let me bring it up. Let me see what is the problem. Let's see. Okay, great. So now you can see. Okay, wonderful. So how to avoid conflict in your relationship, and 3 new ways to communicate effectively with your partner. Awesome. So I want to say this quote from one of my teachers, that he said, we want to live in a world of people who are aware, honest, and open to love. Our species has demonstrated that we can walk on the moon if we put our minds to it. Now let's turn to an even more crucial task, the creation of an earth full of people who are celebrating each other in conscious love. And that's the purpose of our relationship. So I want to talk about 4 types of communication style that we all lead into. And I found so common by working with couples and individuals that these are the 4 types of animal that we kind of lead into in our communication style. And we all can relate to animals, so I thought that it would be fun to bring this one up. So First, I want to talk about RAM, and then you can see as I'm going through it, I want you to see which of them you mostly kind of like go toward. So RAM. The RAM is the person who keeps going up against the conflicts. And they really believe that if they believe something strongly enough, they get the other person to believe it too. They're often passionate, charismatic types, and they just keep going and going like a ram. And they think, I'm going to teach this person a lesson, or this person needs to hear what I'm saying. It's just there is a sense that their perspective is going to have to be accepted eventually. And I think we've been there or known that. You know, basically, they say, if you do what I say, then you will get what you need. You follow my lead, and it will be, everything will go great. So, and also we have this RAM in a RAM that we keep repeating the same drama over and over again. And we just say to ourselves, but I'm just so hurt. Or we say to our partner, but I'm just so hurt. How can I trust again? How can I trust again? So we just have this inner RAM that's beating at our hearts. And or we say, like I told you. So that's a kind of a communication style that the RAM has. Also, when the RAM is so balanced, they are very purposeful. Great leaders, they have a mission. They actually go for what they want. And let me tell you something interesting. They're really good. They're really good and in the different areas in their life, but in their relationship, because let's say their employee follows them and all of that, but they in relationship, the family mostly push them back. So that's where the conflict starts to happen. So now we go to turtle. Turtle who is a person who creates a cozy space in their communication, either in their emotional self or words, or to themselves or the environment, where they retreat into themselves, into safety and certainty. So if I talk about the needs that I'm going to talk about a little bit later, it's like the safety and certainty, it's very important for them. And they say, I'm going inside, and if I just focus on me for a little while, this conflict will go away. And so the other person also experienced the turtle as being withdrawn or pulling away to themselves. So it's quite interesting how the turtle goes inside, and they're waiting for that conflict to go away. And they can become a snappy turtle because they're waiting for this conflict to go away. And when the conflict don't go away, they start to attack. And they attack cut much deeper than any ram might do, because they don't attack for a long time, right? They don't attack for a long time, and they just accumulate all these things, and they all of a sudden they just attack. So you see some of the most peaceful people can really attack so bad because they just actually accumulate all that energy and not really involving in problems. So third, it's about this dog, this cute dog that you can see in this picture. It's about that they say, I'm the peacemaker. I want to make everything better. So even they are sad, they just feel like I need to go to this person to make it better. Dogs are more in tune emotionally than humans are. They go towards sadness. They want to make it better. They just want to be petted and to be acknowledged. And sometimes we consider them as a people pleaser because it's so hard for them to set boundaries for themselves. So what we see with dogs is that they always worried about the other person. they just don't pay attention to their own needs and what's happening with themselves. So oftentimes we see children are like dog because at their deepest level, they wanted to make things better and they wanted to feel that way. So we see with children, and I can say from my own experience, I've been a dog for a long time. You know, I think that most of my relationship, I was a dog. I was actually really working on make things better, not having, as you see, I grew up in a family that have a lot of argument. So I just decided to like really not doing that, and you know, to just be in a different space. So I was always not setting boundaries for myself and going toward the making it better. So now we're gonna go to the fourth, the grasshopper. So the grasshopper is a person who jumps away from the situation and conversation as soon as there is a level of discomfort or trigger. They go to distraction. They go to entertainment. You see now there's a lot of grasshopper because it's so easy to be a grasshopper. Guess what? Your phone is just next to you and you have access to your phone. So we have about at least 30 other people to connect with. If the person we are with trigger us in any way, we have something important to do. And that can be our phone right away. That can be a distraction of going to watch a TV. And we just choose to not go toward any conflict. So we say the other person is sad or they're having depression. And that's what I see mostly in couples, that they say the other person is sad, it's not my job or to get involved in it, right? And they create a lot of distraction by for themselves by even being physical. As soon as they get uncomfortable, they say, I have to go for a run. I just have to go for a run and I cannot be in this space. So it can appear to them as a good activity because they're doing something good for themselves, but then in the deepest level, they're avoiding the conflict. Now I have a question that you see yourself. I want you to really pause right now and just see that which of these animal type you tend to go toward in a relationship when you have conflicts. So let's see what is coming up. Okay. Great. So we want to see what comes forward. You actually right now, I don't know, maybe you couldn't watch me. I realized that maybe you couldn't watch me on the webinar page, but right now I think that you can watch me on the webinar page. Oh, someone said grasshopper and dog. Okay, great. So you can see for yourself where you're going. That's good. Yeah, we are all have a different mechanism for really going toward that. So I want to make sure that people can even watch us on the webinar and not just on YouTube. So that was a quick note that I realized just right now. It's fine. So I want to say these are coping mechanisms that different people have. And the problem with them is that they don't address whatever caused that happen to be. And so the turtle, the problem is that the turtle just hide and wait everything to be different, right? And the dog is about comfort in and comfort out and doesn't really figure it out what needs to be there, what's the boundaries, what are the things that I need to take care for myself and take for the other person. And grasshopper removes themselves completely psychologically, emotionally, and mentally to not just be really involved. And ram thinks if you just if you just pump you out of the way, then everything gonna be perfect. If you just listen to me, if you just follow my lead, everything is going to be perfect. And by just looking at different people and working with all different individual, I just realized that how much it's important, awareness, how much it's important that we know what we are actually doing to ourselves. And in the program that I'm going to talk about later, we kind of look at all different ways to learn how we meet our needs, because it's very important. Each of these animal type, they have need, and when we don't know how to meet our own needs, that's the time that we create conflict. And so the thing is, these are all about avoiding conflict and just a coping mechanism for us. It's not really doing anything. So right now, I want you to know that the first thing, as I can see the, let me see the, how many people, okay. So most of the people, they say ram and turtle. Okay, and some of the dog. So it's interesting, we don't have a really grasshopper here. Okay, so I want to talk about that, how we can actually bring balance into these different types and what is our choice. Because when we start to realize that we have a choice to change our behavior, we can shift the dynamic of the relationship that we are in or we are looking forward to create for ourselves. So 3 keys. Now we're going to talk about 3 keys in a relationship. And the 3 keys, I say, it's a listening, authenticity, and it's about self-understanding. So the 3 keys, first start with listening. So listening is not just being passive. It's about it's not about being quiet or just hearing the words, right? It's an action that requires energy to listen. And once we become aware that, you know, we have a choice. We have a choice. We begin to really create opportunities in our relationship. I believe listening is the greatest gift that we can give to one another. And like really paying attention 100% to what is happening. I want you to just think about, just remember a time when someone really listened to you, right? And they gave you total attention. How did it feel for you? I want you to write down actually, how did it feel when you felt someone actually paying 100% attention to you, right? And they were so present to you. So let's see what comes forward out of that. But how did you feel? For me, I feel like when someone listens to me, I feel how much I'm important, how much the other person cares about me, right? And it's just a profound experience. When 2 people listen to each other deeply, we sense that not only we are present with ourselves, but we are present with another person. Some people call it the true self, like you're really in tune with the other person's soul. And we're just right, we just feel like we are one when we are listening to another person. But oftentimes what happens in the relationship that we don't listen, we just don't listen. Something more important happened, and that is being able to be right. So we just simply want to be right. And just being right, it becomes more important than what's actually happening over there, and to listen to another person. So when you are in a relationship with someone that you care about, or you feel that you really love them, I want to ask this question. Do you need to be right? Or do you need to have that person feel that they are being heard? I want you to really pause at this moment and ask this question. Do you need to be right? Or do you need to have that person to feel that they are being heard? Right? You know, I know that how much is important for each of us as a human being to feel that we are being heard, we feel acknowledged. If you have a need to be heard, what about create that space for another person? Most of the time, we just like tend to be in a relationship that one person always talk so much, and the other person is just like quiet, right? And we want to create space for the other person to also hear us. So why not right now to just pause and see in your life right now? I want you to really actually look into your life, that where you are, that you wanted to have that feeling of being heard, right, with the other person. And then how you can create that space for the other person. Gandhi say, be the change that you want to see in your life and in the world. So why not you be the change for the other person, right? And in my coaching program, I'm going to address the quality of listening and how we can deepen our listening. The first, start listening to ourselves and listening to our emotions. So next one is about authenticity. I think authenticity is the key in our relationship with the other person and with ourselves. We want to bring forward who we are in a relationship, not the version that the other person like. What I've also seen with my clients is that oftentimes we think our partner is a mind reader and they can read our mind. And that's not true. Because just imagine that you want your partner always read your mind. I don't think that's what you want, because they're gonna find out a lot of things about you. So we want to communicate what is coming forward for us in a relationship, right? Let's say I'm just sad. I just like, and then my partner asks this question, what's going on with you, honey? I just say nothing. And I just have this assumption that he has to know what's going on with me. So the first thing is that are you really communicate with the other person, right? What is going on for you? And when you learn how to communicate, and just like there is always something in communication that we need to give up. We need to sometimes maybe give up to be right. We need to give up to look good, right? And there are so many things we can give up. So maybe you can right now think about what you can give up in your conversation with the person that you're thinking about, and you can create a space for that. So the third and the most important one is about self-understanding, and it's about our limiting belief that we have about ourselves. It's about being aware of your own feeling when you are with the other person. It's about reflecting. You know, our limiting belief is stopping us to be who we are, what we can like actually manifest in our relationship. What happened is that we look at our parents, we look at society, we look at our friends, and we get a sense of an idea of a good wife, a good partner, a good husband should be this way, right? And we have a list for ourselves. What is like a good wife should do this, should do that, should do this. And then we just see that is not aligned with who we are. We just have these limiting belief about ourselves. And you know, our limiting belief, our belief creates our reality. So whatever belief you have, it creates your reality. Let's say I have this belief that I'm not good enough, or I'm not sexy enough, or I'm not lovable. Guess what? Whatever question that you give or belief that you give to your mind start to scan it and manifest it in reality. It's not that all of a sudden you want to buy a car, let's say you want to buy a Lexus, and all of a sudden you start to see all these Lexus all around, because your mind starts to scan, right, what you want. And you always have to be right. So whatever belief you have, you're going to start to actually collect evidence to prove that you are right. So as you see other people having like a good life or a good relationship, we might ask them what are the beliefs that they have about themselves and their relationship, right? Because it's really, really important. What are the beliefs that you have about yourself and about the relationship? So, and the thing is, the other belief is the belief that, you know what, you are with yourself 24/7. The person that you have the relationship is really you. And everything starts with you. I want to tell you that everything starts with you. So you wanted to change the belief about yourself. And what if you change your belief? So right now, I want you to think about one belief that you have about yourself, right? And maybe you can write it down. One belief, one limiting belief that you have about yourself in your relationship. And what would happen if you right now just upgrade that and have a new relationship, right? What would happen if you do that? So maybe you can write it down in the comments that what is it that you wanted to have? The new belief that actually I'm giving you a little bit time because this is very important. Giving you a little bit time of thinking of what is that relationship? What is that idea and belief that you want to have about yourself, right? And how it can actually help you by changing that. Great, that's awesome. So whatever belief that you have, I want you to know that you can change it. As I change all my belief by understanding it, by looking at those blind spots. We all need support. We all need help. I remember for me it was so difficult to see what are my beliefs, what I believe that I have, that it creates this reality that it's just miserable. I'm not happy. But with the support, I create that, and those blind spots really came forward for me, and I was willing to change it, and I changed it in my whole life. And helping others to do that, it's really, I'm saying to you, it's possible. So I want you to see, are you willing to change your belief, your relationship with yourself, and just being open to whatever universe that wants to bring forward to you, right? That thing that you cannot even imagine, because like the universe always surprises us. And what is it that the universe that brings forward to us, right? So if you are willing to change, I want you to know that is possible, 100%. And I want you to be open to that. So now I want to talk about the great offer, special offer that I have for you. First, I want to give you a little bit background about it, that I've been helping my individual clients and couples, and I'm always able to work with people one-on-one and or in my workshop. So I really wanted to really help more people and create a community of like-minded people that they also can support each other in the process of listening and understanding themselves and really support each other. So I thought about it and I decided to create a group coaching. I created this program for people who want to have a better relationship, who want to have a better understanding for them about themselves and about their relationship. The course is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I put so this is the program. It's a 6 weeks program. It's about communicate effectively with your partner and build a joyful relationship with your partner. So these are 5 modules that we want to cover that in this program that is specifically designed to take you to the next best level in your relationship. So in module 1, we're going to talk about 6 human needs and how we can meet them individually and in the relationship. As I told you, it's very important, the communication style that we have, that we tend to go toward, is that we cannot meet our needs and then we withdraw. So understanding your needs is the first step to self-discovery. And the module 2 is all about how we open up space for ourselves and our partner to receive and give. It's about art of receiving and in giving. It includes silent receiving and how we can make offer to each other without miscommunication, and preferred modality for receiving and giving, which is very helpful in relationship, that they're both partner, they learn how to receive. And module 3, it's about looking at current relationship and how you wish to grow in your relationship, how you want to let go of the past problems, and really creating a new story about your life and what you wanted to get out of that relationship. And really looking at the relationship with the open eyes. Module 4, it's all about communication, guys. I just cover everything that I learned during all these years that I've been doing a lot of communication courses and putting all my insight into it to learn new communication skills and be able to communicate with your partner in a whole new way by bringing balance and harmony. And Module 5, what I love about it is all about passion and how to bring passion and playfulness back into your relationship by introducing you to 5 new skills that actually can elevate you in whatever relationship that you have, to bring to feel more passionate, to feel more sexy, to feel more lovable in your relationship. So it started 21st of November, and it's gonna be 2 hours. We're gonna have 6 live coaching calls each week, as we are, I put it for the end of November because we want to start new for the January. When January comes, we want to start fresh to create a new relationship for ourselves. So the 6 weeks program to a joyful relationship is the 6 live group coaching sessions with cost $3,000, and it has a worksheet and written exercise that you can go through it every week. That is for you. The coaching calls is recorded and you can have it. And the guided meditation and visualization is also include that you can actually deepen your meditation and start to visualize a new life for yourself. You can also access to a private community. And for the bonus, for people that they registered tonight, I have a free 1-hour one-on-one coaching for you. So whatever problem you have, you can bring it forward. And I guarantee you, when you walk out of that session, you're gonna be much happier, in a much better place, and completely having a clarity, which it costs $400. But as a special invitation for you today, the total cost is $3,698, and your price today is $598. And I really want to encourage you to sign up, because this is a program that you can, it's a 6 weeks program, but it has a lot of impact in your relationship. And when working with clients, I know that how much you want to have that in your life. So I really encourage you to sign up today and to get that private session with me. That is going to be amazing, and we're going to discover more about what's going on in your relationship so you can move it forward. So it's on Monday at 6 p.m. and that will be recorded, so you're gonna have it forever, and you can watch it on your own pace. And it's an interacting environment that I'm gonna interact with you, and I'm gonna go through the different modules. And the 6 week, it's all about integration and celebration, and just ready to create a relationship that you really want. So I want to really acknowledge you for being here. I want you to answer some of the questions that you might have about the program. Or I don't know, you can see the offer. If you can see the offer, just write in a chat box that you can see the offer. Let me see. Or I can actually put the maybe link for you so you can see and you can sign up. So let me put the link. Yeah, I don't know how many of you are on YouTube or how many of you on the webinar. So I wanted to put it right down here in the comments. Let me put it on the comments for you so you can actually see it. Okay, great. So right now it's in on the comments, so you can just, it's a sepicoaching.com 6-week program. Right now you can see it in the comments. Great. Awesome. So you can sign up. Okay, so you can, I heard that you can see the offer, so you can sign up over there and you can pay with the PayPal. I'm just looking forward to have all of you in that community and just being able to interact with you and take these sessions. I'm sure that you got benefit out of it, but take it to the next level. Perfect. It's 8:29. It's perfect. It's just 1 hour. So I want to know that you write in the chat box is that if you have any question for me, so then I can answer it. Great. So now you can hear me. Awesome. So if you have any question, I'm here to able to answer it, or you can email me to at I'm sure that you got my email, all of you that you register, you got my email, that you can email me, and if you have any question. But this, don't miss this opportunity, this offer of free one-on-one coaching with me, and I will be happy to have you in that group coaching. I want to mention also that I'm going to have 10 people in this, so I'm going to be a small group of interacting with each other. Great. So if there is no question, I can just, okay, let's see. Let's wait to see if there's any question. Let me ask my team member to see. Okay. So if there is no question, I'm just so happy to have all of you here. It was a great time. I hope that you got the benefit out of it and you start to implement all these tools in your life and see which one do you tend to go toward and create a different relationship for yourself. Have an amazing night. Thank you for being here. Bye.